Good Friday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. We have made it almost to the weekend. For many of you, maybe your weekend has already started if you got off work at 5 o'clock tonight. For others, the weekend isn't starting till later tonight, like for me, or maybe even until tomorrow. And our Friday night is a pretty nice night out there. We're not really tracking any showers around. We had a few isolated showers that came through earlier this afternoon, really late afternoon, and then they pretty much diminished. And let me tell you, they were very isolated. Most folks didn't get anything at all. This is a 2-hour loop that I'm showing you right now. And you don't see any of those showers. There was one up here in parts of Jackson County that flared up really not too far off from Jefferson. And a couple other showers just kind of scattered around in North Georgia. These up in the mountains had a little thunder and lightning with them into areas of Union County, Towns County, northern White County. But those have all faded out. So we really have a nice night out there for tonight. You can see a few more clouds and a couple of showers over into parts of Alabama. But for us, the clouds have pretty much moved on out, and we're mainly clear out there right now, looking really nice. Now, we were watching a few showers back into Alabama earlier today during our 4, 5, and 6 o'clock newscast. And we were telling you about these showers and storms here back into Alabama. And you know, a lot of times we look to Alabama to see what's coming into our area next, but we told you then that those showers wouldn't make it here into West Georgia or even into Metro Atlanta. And as you see there, they did all pretty much fall apart. They just have a couple little showers left just to the west of Montgomery, and those are going to continue to dissipate there as well. So here is what we're watching all around the southeast, and it's a relatively quiet period here in the southeast. Not a lot is going on. We have high pressure over us. We have been able to see, even with that high pressure, some spots with heating and humidity that will bubble up just a few showers, but it was never really anything widespread out there. We do have a few of the showers here that we had in parts of Tennessee, back into Arkansas and Missouri. We have some showers back into parts of Mississippi, but it's not really any type of organized system that is going to be moving our way. These are just kind of the summertime pop-ups that flare up and then they rain themselves out, and they're pretty much dissipating out there right now. Here's a live look from our tower cam at Truist Park. Now, I know it's kind of quiet there tonight as the Braves are not in town here and the lights are off, and it would have been a pretty nice night for baseball if the Braves were here since we have dry weather conditions. And temperatures, though, have been warm. You know, we got up to 93 degrees for a high today, but since the sun has been down for a while, we're watching those temperatures coming down. So it's looking nice at Truist Park. And then this is our camera at looking over Georgia Tech right here. This is our camera at Georgia Tech looking onto the downtown area. But you can see Bobby Dodd Stadium here, Grant Field. And that's going to be a happening place tomorrow as the Jackets are going to be playing Temple tomorrow. Now, remember last week's game where Clemson was in town? That was a huge game for Tech and a huge win for Tech as well. Tomorrow's game, not as maybe as high profile as Georgia Tech and Clemson, but Georgia Tech and Temple is still going to be going on there. I know there'll be a lot of folks at this stadium watching, and I really think it's going to be a pretty nice day. This is a 4:30 game. Just know that in the afternoons, we have about a 20% chance for an isolated shower. Now, whether or not that's going to be on top of Georgia Tech or just a few blocks away, we can't really tell because it's one of those things where we're just going to see a few showers popping up. It's not like it's moving in with a cold front or anything like that. So it's just a low risk for a shower. Now, it's a 4:30 game, so when the game is starting, that's really going to be the heat of the day. And we think it's going to be up to around 89 degrees. Now, for tailgating before the game, it's going to be warming up. We're pretty much the mid-80s there in the middle of the afternoon. Then 89 around kickoff. 87 at 6, and then 80 degrees at 8 o'clock. So temperatures will start trending down once the game is in full force there. Most likely after halftime, it'll start trending down just a little bit. But it got hot today. 93 degrees was our high temperature for this afternoon. The average high for this time of year is now 83. We had been saying 84 the past few days. Now as we're getting deeper into September and now closer to the end of September, the average high for this time of year is 83. So that 93 degree high today 10 degrees above the average. Still not a record, though. The record's 98, so we missed that by 5 degrees, and that was set in 1925. Our low this morning, 72, so we're getting back into those milder mornings, a little more humidity around, making it feel a little more muggy. It's not like those really cool and refreshing mornings that we had a stretch of last week and the week before there. So the mornings are getting a little milder and muggier, and we should be around 65 for this time of year. So even this morning's temperature was trending about 7 degrees above the average, and the rainfall, we've been talking about this every single night. Still no measurable rain here in Atlanta for today. So look at that rainfall deficit. We are almost 3 inches below average in rainfall. And yesterday, we spent a lot of time talking about the drought, where we now have abnormally dry conditions here in the metro Atlanta area and some moderate drought over on the west side. And so every day we don't have rain, those drought conditions are going to worsen a little bit more. We really think this pattern, though, is going to change once we go into the end of next week with the rain chances that are going to be coming up just a little bit more. Here's a look at that mild start that we had this morning with those temperatures in the lower 70s right around sunrise. And then you see how we went to 89 at 1, then back to 85 at 2 with some clouds blocking out the sun, then 91 at 3, 90 at 4, 92 at 5, 91 at 6. And it's in between these hourlies there between 90, 92, and 91 where we bumped up briefly, excuse me, to 93 degrees for that high temperature today. So that was definitely a hot one. So here's what to expect for your Saturday. I really, really think that most of us will be dry. If any showers happen to pop up, it would generally be between 2 and 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, these would be only isolated showers. There's a really low risk for that, only a 20% chance for a shower. And it's the summertime pop-ups, just the heat and humidity bubbling up some of those showers around. So keep your umbrella with you just in case. Chances are higher that you won't need it, but you'll be glad you have it if you get caught in one of those showers that just happens to pop up. Now, if you do get caught in one of those showers, just know it's not going to last forever. It's not going to be an all-day rain event. It's not going to be a washout. It would just be a pop-up shower that rains and then rains itself out. And I know we've got a lot of stuff going on. I mentioned the Georgia Tech game. We've got the Shaking Knees Festival going on at Piedmont Park. So again, hopefully not one of those rains that would make everything a muddy mess down at Piedmont Park. It would just be a brief rain shower that would move on through. Right now, it is still warm out there. Normally at this time of night, when we've had these cooler temperatures around, we've been talking about temperatures in the 70s, but we're still holding in the lower 80s at this hour in Atlanta at 82 degrees. Now outside the city, we do have that warmer air from the day that's been able to radiate out into the atmosphere faster than it has here in Atlanta, and that was replaced by some cooler air. So 71 in Carrollton. How about 69 right now to the south of us in Peachtree City? That's feeling pretty good. We have 60s up in Blairsville and Clayton. Most places low to mid 70s, some upper 70s around like LaGrange and Thomaston at 79, 77 in Marietta, but then we're the only ones still holding in those lower 80s here at this late night. So tomorrow, we start off in the morning thinking it's going to be more like 68. You know, this morning, as I mentioned, we were in the 70s, which was very mild. I do think we'll make it into the upper 60s here for tomorrow morning. Then through the day, warming pretty quickly by lunchtime. Into the low and mid 80s. We've got 82 at 11, 86 at 1 o'clock, and then 89 for our high. And then notice this, just a 20% chance for some isolated showers that could develop here in those afternoon hours. So here's the forecast track. This is the high resolution rapid refresh model where you can see here we're dry out there for tonight. In the morning, we may wake up to a few clouds around, some spots clear to the north of us, but metro Atlanta areas and areas down to the south along I-20 here, we'll have a few clouds mixing in with the sunshine. By lunchtime, more sun around, and then in the afternoon, this is what I want you to see. Nothing widespread. Not everybody is getting rain. In fact, most of us will stay dry. It's just that chance. You see where you just have green showing up here haphazardly around metro Atlanta? It's that heating of the day and enough moisture that's just going to bubble up some showers. And we don't know exactly where they will be, but we just want you to be prepared for a couple of those that could develop here during those afternoon hours. And then going into Sunday morning, we may see a better coverage of clouds around. I'm not really expecting any rain out of that. And then as we go through your Sunday afternoon, Again, I'm thinking most areas will be dry. We're going with a 20% chance for a shower again, just because there might be one or two little areas where we see some of those pop-ups occurring. Now, we've been telling you about the dew points and how when we had dew points the last couple of weeks that were in the 50s, let me go back to that graphic there, in the 50s, that's when it was really comfortable, and that's when we had those morning lows that were going down into the lower 60s. Now there's more moisture in the air, and that's made the dew points rise a little bit. So when we've got those dew points in the 60s, that's where it's starting to feel a little more humid. So just not as dry and crisp as it was the past couple of weeks. So with that, we're going to see it feeling a little more muggy. Now look at Wednesday and Thursday, how the dew points are rising even more. That's because we're going to see the moisture content in the air coming up more, and we're thinking by the middle and end of next week, we're going to see a change in this dry and hot pattern, and we'll see temperatures that are going to be coming down a little bit into the mid 80s, but our rain chances will be going up to potentially break this dry and hot pattern that we've been in. So for the weekend, just a 20% chance for a shower, mainly dry Monday and Tuesday, 30% chance for showers on Wednesday, up to about a 40% chance on Thursday. And we'll be fine-tuning those rain chances as we get closer to the end of the week too. We may see them come up a little bit more. Morning lows generally in the upper 60s, Tuesday, Wednesday, right around 69 degrees. And then the high temperatures, we're thinking will stay below 90. We've had temperatures at or above 90 the past 3 days. Remember, today was 93. Yesterday was around 92, then 91. So the day before that, so it's been hot. Average high for this time of year is 84, but I do think we'll come below 90, generally there in the upper 80s the next few days, but we could be close to 90 again on Saturday and again on Tuesday. Here is the latest on Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Winds are still holding at about 50 miles an hour. You can see the storm, the convection and organization of this storm is looking a little more impressive compared to how it was looking yesterday morning. We're seeing a little bit more of that convection with it. We do think it's getting a little better organized. Now, here's a look at the northern Leeward Islands here. Here's Puerto Rico, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic right over here. So the storm is staying away from any land masses right now. What we're going to watch is as it moves up toward the north and west, it is going to start getting a little bit stronger. And we're thinking by late Saturday, maybe early on Sunday, it becomes a Category 1 hurricane. By overnight Sunday into Monday, a Cat 2 with winds of around 100 miles an hour. See, this box is kind of covering up Bermuda, but you see that speck right there? That is Bermuda Island out in the Atlantic there. We think that it's going to be skirting just past Bermuda and then continuing up toward the north and to the east, moving away as it loses some of its strength and some of its power. And the spaghetti models also show that sharp curve happening right before, here's Bermuda right here, right before it gets to Bermuda. So the consensus of those models, all these lines kind of getting close together, taking that curve away from Bermuda and of course away from the Atlantic coastline too. So we don't think there's going to be much of an impact here. We have also been watching this little tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa. It is just now, so it's no longer over land, it's over the water now, but as it moves into this part of the Atlantic here where you see this yellow blob, that's where we could see a little more organization coming in. But still, as of right now, the Hurricane Center has only, the highest that it's given it is about 20% over the next 7 days, but we'll keep watching it. The extended models that I'm also looking at aren't feeling very optimistic that this is going to have a big chance of developing into a huge system. But again, something that we have to watch out there going through the next few days. So here's the European model. I want to show you the dry conditions that we're going to have here over the weekend, just that 20% chance for a shower. Then on Monday, still mainly dry here, also into Tuesday. Once we get into Wednesday, a little more of this moisture tries to feed in. And then Thursday and also on Friday, look at all this moisture that's coming in. That's when we're going to see our rain chances. That'll be going up as we go toward the end of next week, hopefully to break this pattern. Now, it's not going to be crazy flooding rain or anything like that, but at least the rain chances will be going up really middle to mainly end of next week. But until we get to that, just low rain chances, 20% on Saturday and Sunday, high of 89 Saturday, 88 Sunday, 87 Monday with dry conditions. Tuesday also looks dry with highs up to around 89. Then back to a 30% chance for showers Wednesday, 40% chance Thursday, 30% chance on Friday. That's when we see those rain chances that are going to be coming up there just a little bit more. And with that, the temperatures start to trend down too, with highs back to the mid 80s, getting a little bit closer to where we should be for this time of year. So pretty much hot weather and mainly dry weather through the weekend and to start next week with just the really low rain chances here for the weekend. And then hopefully that pattern changing with the rain chances coming up just a little bit more here for Wednesday and then maybe a little bit more for your Thursday and your Friday. Thank you so much for joining us for this extended weather outlook. We're going to have another weather update for you coming up tonight at 11 on 11 Alive News right here on 11 Alive Plus. And we'll have updates throughout the weekend here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. So we hope you have a great night and a great weekend. I'm actually in this weekend, so I'll be with you again coming up with you on Saturday and Sunday too. So have a good one.